9 out of 10 times when the Canadian government implements something new into the housing market, I'm not a fan of it, and typically it does more harm than good. However, they actually did some good for a change, which is exactly what I'm going to be talking about today. If you're planning to buy your first home in the next couple of years, or if you've got adult kids who are struggling to get into the market, you're going to want to stick around because in this video, I'm going to be telling you everything you need to know about the new First Home Savings Account, or FHSA for short, and how you can use it to your advantage. What's going on, guys? My name's Alex Dunbar, and I'm a local realtor who specializes in the Surrey and Langley real estate markets, as well as the rest of the Fraser Valley. If this is your first time on our channel, we make weekly videos pertaining to the BC and Canadian real estate market, as well as showcase community tours across the Lower Mainland. So if that's something you're interested in seeing more of, I suggest you consider subscribing to our channel and hitting the bell so you can be the first to be notified as soon as we put out a new video. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So what exactly is an FHSA? The First Home Savings Account is a game-changing registered investment account designed to help Canadians save for their first home. The best part? You never pay tax on the savings you accumulate in the account. Think of it as a hybrid between an RRSP and a TFSA. You get the tax deduction perks of an RRSP and the tax-free growth of a TFSA. That means that every dollar you put in and earn in this account goes straight towards the down payment of your first home. Now, you might be wondering, why should I consider investing in an FHSA? Well, if you're not a believer just yet, there are some very compelling reasons that I'm going to go over that hopefully can change that. First off, as I already mentioned, the growth from your investments is entirely tax-free. Plus, contributions to your FHSA can even reduce your taxable income. In fact, you can contribute up to $40,000 to this account specifically designated for your first home. It's a fantastic way to supercharge your savings and get that much closer to homeownership. But wait, there's more. Every year you gain contribution room in your FHSA. As of January 2023, you can contribute up to $8,000 annually. Just remember not to over-contribute and stay within your limits. The nice part is that if you don't contribute the maximum amount, it rolls over into the next year and you don't lose any contribution room. For instance, if you were to only contribute $4,000 towards your $8,000 total this year, you'll be able to contribute up to $12,000 next year for a total of $16,000. So who can actually benefit from an FHSA? Well, there are 3 key components to qualify. You need to be a resident of Canada, you have to be at least 18 years old or the age of the majority in your province or territory, and you or your spouse can't own a home you've lived in during the year the account is opened or the previous 4 calendar years. In a nutshell, the FHSA is right for you if you're a Canadian resident, have reached the age of majority, are a first-time home buyer, and want your savings to grow over time for that dream home. However, if you're not a first-time home buyer, not a Canadian resident, or turning 72 this year, this might not be the right fit for you. Now, let's address some common questions. Who doesn't qualify for the FHSA? Well, if you meet the 3 requirements that I've already mentioned, you're likely eligible. But if you're looking to buy a second home or you've been a homeowner in the last 4 calendar years, this account isn't for you. And what happens if you don't use your FHSA? The good news is you've got options. You can transfer the funds to an RRSP account within 15 years or when you need to close your FHSA. The nice thing is that this won't affect your RRSP contribution room. Alternatively, you can withdraw the amount, but keep in mind that there may be withholding taxes. Now, here's a cherry on top. If you plan to buy a home in the next few years and don't have enough time to max out the $40,000 in your FHSA, you can contribute your savings with other new tax proposals. The first-time homebuyer's tax credit has increased to $10,000, providing you up to $1,500 in direct homebuyer support. Plus, the first-time homebuyer incentive has been extended until March 31st, 2025. Lastly, let's talk about how the FHSA stacks up against its counterparts, the RRSP and TFSA. The FHSA in Canada is the best of both worlds. It offers the same $40,000 contribution limit with $8,000 per year, growing tax-free like a TFSA. However, there's a catch. The FHSA must be devoted to your first home purchase. Any withdrawals for other purposes will be taxed. On the other hand, you can withdraw up to $35,000 of your RRSP for a new home tax-free under the homebuyer's plan. But you need to repay it within 15 years. With the FHSA, you won't have that repayment obligation. Now, let's put this into perspective with an example. Let's assume that you're a resident of BC with an income between $65,000 to $85,000 a year. Imagine you contribute $8,000 into your FHSA at the beginning of each year and you're able to put up to a maximum of $40,000 into the account. Therefore, you're able to reduce your taxable income by $8,000 each year. And because at both levels of income and anything in between, they have the same marginal tax rate based on tax rates in 2023, you'd save $2,256 in income taxes. Assuming this stayed consistent for the next 4 years, you'd save $11,280 in taxes over that time. Not too shabby. Now let's say that you invested the money that you put into your FHSA. If it was to appreciate at 10% per year, compounded annually for the next 5 years, you'd end up with $53,364.60 at the end of it. This is an extra $13,364.60 of tax-free money. And if we combine the money saved on the income tax plus the total appreciation on the money put into the FHSA over those 5 years, you'd be looking at $24,644.60. Of course, this number could be more or less, but this is a pretty reasonable assumption. And even if you didn't choose to invest your money and you just reap the rewards of the reduced income taxes, that's still a nice little bonus. On top of that, what I didn't mention is you could technically also invest the $2,256 you saved each year, which could add close to an additional $3,000 assuming the same conditions. And what I would do is put that money into my TFSA to save on income taxes yet again. So there you have it, folks, the lowdown on the First Home Savings Account. It's a fantastic tool for first-time homebuyers in Canada to save, grow their money, and make that dream of homeownership a reality. If you're eligible, it's definitely worth considering. I'll leave a link down in the description with additional information for those of you who want to further explore it. And if you did get any sort of value from this video whatsoever, all I ask is that you hit the thumbs up button, and if you'd like to see more videos just like this one, I suggest you consider subscribing to our channel. If you do have any questions, leave them down below and I'll be sure to get back to you whenever I get a chance. Lastly, if you are considering buying or selling in Surrey, Langley, or any of the surrounding cities for that matter, or you just want to talk about real estate, you can scroll down and click the first link in the description to book a call with me at a time that works best for you. Thanks so much for watching. Before you get out of here, make sure you check out another video on our channel, and we'll see you in the next one.